Welcome to the NormalCast, where two guys talk about movies. I'm Matt.
I'm Adam.
ComicCon happened.
Yeah.
Ah, so it happened. This is the first time I've been away the whole weekend. Adam and I are just gonna kind of talk about like all of our first like thoughts and reactions to all the stuff that happened at Comic Con, with of course a huge focus being on the Marvel stuff because that's what we
That's
care.
the best part.
That's what we care about the most. And there's some trailers for other things that came out this weekend we'll talk about, but there's lots of others we missed just because it's not our areas of expertise. We don't have like huge opinions on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just gonna go into some of that. I'll leave like a time code for when we start talking about the Marvel, because that'll be the majority portion of this. But first, we're just gonna run through the trailers that caught my eye in many different ways this weekend. First was just real quick the Witcher trailer for Netflix with Henry Cavill being the guy from the video games and the books.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I didn't know there were books, but in the trailer it said from the best-selling book series.
That did catch
That was
me off guard as
that
well.
was a surprise to me, but that's probably means it might actually be better because then it has more material to go off of. Because I think it's more of like short stories almost, or like just individual
Okay.
tales. So it's more like the legend of this guy, which is yeah.
And track record wise, books are normally adapted better than video games.
Yes, there has been one video game adaptation I liked, and that was the Pikachu movie,
Mm.
Detective Pikachu. That was fun. But besides that, I don't know. It's got magic, armies clashing in real armor. The sets look cool. I just think it's gonna be a cool fantasy romp, and it looks cool. Yeah,
Yeah, if people like it, I'll probably watch it.
yeah. That one is like just it's nothing I'm like super pumped for, but it's one that I'm definitely like, oh, I hope that's good.
Yeah.
Because it looks like I could use a fantasy show. Haven't had fantasy in a while. What else came out? Trailer for Top Gun Maverick after when was the first Top Gun? Like 20, 30 years ago?
80,
That was,
either 85, 86, or 87.
that was 80s? Oh, I thought it was like 90s. Oh gosh, So yeah, Tom Cruise is back flying planes. You saw that trailer?
I didn't see that.
No, you didn't see that trailer. It's him flying planes and talking to Ed Harris.
Okay.
John Hamm's in it.
Oh,
He's
good.
Yeah, I like Hamm. So it's the trailer itself like didn't like show it, didn't give me like a ton to feel for what the movie like storyline and all that was going to be. Like Ed Harris just telling him like he's kind of a dinosaur, like your kind is going extinct. He's like, not today though. And it's like the cool part was there were some really nice shots where like Tom Cruise is like doing the real flying for a lot of it. They like got
That
the
makes
camera in the
sense.
front, like they've got him taking off of like an aircraft carrier, like camera mounted on like the front in the cockpit, and like him like taking each like the bumps as he's lifting off, and it's
Yeah.
the way that like everything pulls away. It looks cool. Besides that, and apparently they're working very close with like the Navy too, like so it's like all the flying is supposed to be like real pilots doing it.
That's
Like
good.
it's besides that, I'm honestly not that big a fan of the original. Like I don't know if you were.
This might shock you. I've never seen it.
You've never okay, sorry, for Adam is the guy who's seen every movie. You've never seen Top Gun.
No.
That's crazy. So something tells me you're not super pumped about this.
I don't care one bit.
I see. I'm the guy that's seen it, and I'm like, if people say it's good, I'll go see it. But it was fun the first one, but it's nothing that special. It's just yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. I said we were gonna go through these trailers quick, besides the Marvel stuff, so we're just gonna fly through. One of the most impressive technological Marvel kind of trailers I've seen is Cats.
Cats.
Let's talk about Cats. I didn't write any like notes or talking points for this. I wrote just wow on my sheet because if you haven't seen it, just look at some still images. It looks, you know how like a lot of the time people complain about still images, and I say, look at it in motion, it'll look better. This looks worse in motion.
Yeah.
Like when the cat's like spinning on one toe, and the whole body's like moving like this weird fur jelly of a CG body. I hate it.
Yeah.
Well, like, what shocked you most about that trailer? Those that don't know, it's a Broadway thing that they wear silly cat costumes, and now they made them just like the grossest like human cat things I've ever seen.
Like Ian McKellen looked okay because I feel like he was wearing clothes or he was
He had
padded.
something going on. But the
But
main
the
cat is
people
just so
who are
smooth and
the
weird.
yeah the people who are not wearing clothes are haunting.
It's really weird to look at. Cause why, like, cause you got like the main character, you got your Taylor Swift in there. Why do the why do the cats have like bumps for breasts and things, but it's all like smooth and furry and weird? I know it's because it's a human cat, but it's like it's just weird and hard to look at. It's really hard to look at.
I think what they were trying to do was like in the Broadway thing, they're just kind of dressed up as cats, and like we don't want to do that because it's a movie, but we don't want to make them just cats, like Lion King or something.
Because like the play, they move around as humans,
Yeah,
obviously in silly cat suits, but it's just they found that perfectly awful in between
yeah,
that I don't know what to do about. I really encourage people to check out if you haven't seen the images. It's just madness, and there's so many people in this movie. There's so many. There's
yeah.
Idris Elba in this
Jason
movie.
Derulo
There's
was the
Jason
shocking one.
Derulo. How did that
He's
happen?
never acted in anything before.
And like, has Taylor Swift acted in
I
things
don't think
before?
so.
Because she's in this. They got all the musical people. This is apparently the director who did Les Mis,
Mm-hmm.
which I really like,
And King's Speech.
and The King's Speech. I liked that too. But just whoever like had the pitch meeting for this of how they were gonna make it look, just really sold people on it.
Yeah.
And I feel like did not know how to deliver, or this was his vision, and he's like, mwah, perfect. Like this is his fetish. Is look cats looking like this human. It's
Yeah.
just so weird because it's not even like furry territory. Like it's some again weird in between to please no one. And for me, I'm sensitive to the uncanny valley. To me, it's just like that perfect unnatural that makes me feel like gross.
Yeah.
I don't like looking at it.
And like I haven't seen the musical or anything, but
No.
from what I hear from people who have, they're like, it doesn't need to be a movie. It's not very good in the first
I've
place.
heard it's not that good.
Yeah.
Like, but they just had to make it. And yeah, any other thoughts on that?
No.
Okay, good. I don't want to even.
But I feel like it might get a lot of it might do well just because people are curious.
There might be a curiosity aspect to it. It's just I don't want to talk about it because honestly, just thinking of the images in my head right now is making me uncomfortable. So I'm gonna move on. Tom Hanks, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. You see this one?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I liked it.
Yeah, I'll see it.
It's
It'll be Oscar bait.
yeah, it's Oscar bait, but it also seems like a good. Every once in a while, I like to see a feel good movie.
Yeah.
This seems like it's gonna be that. It's a guy interviewing Mr. Rogers, and he's got. I'll say Tom Hanks has like all the mannerisms and motions really down. They feel super Mr. Rogers. It's a shame to me, like the voice will never be Mr. Rogers' voice because he had a really unique kind of soft voice.
And Tom Hanks needs to be real careful because he could easily slip into Forrest Gump.
There's a chance, right? Like there's a chance. But I liked what I saw in the trailer. I don't have a ton to say about it. It was just a cute kind of like tease at what it's gonna be. I definitely don't need to see more than what I saw. Like it's like
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. You're interviewing Mr. Rogers, and it's yeah, that's it. And I'm excited kind of
Yeah.
to see it.
I'm glad it's not like his life story either.
Yeah, it's a moment like you'll be able to like to ask questions about his life, but like because I already saw a documentary.
Yeah.
Like I heard about his childhood, and he was really sick, and always inside, and it was like I've heard about that stuff. So I like that we're seeing a snippet of his life and his impact on the people around him.
Yeah.
Because that's what I find so interesting that like people still talk about him, and he still like influenced a lot of people. It's like the way just he wanted to like we should be able to show everyone like they deserve to be loved, and this like and he was also like did so many things like interracial boundaries. Like he would
Yeah.
sneak into his show and just like never and it never felt like an agenda. It was just like they're a person and we should love them for like it's like that's it. It's
Yeah.
very simple, and I look forward to seeing that because it's a good feel good thing. Good feel good thing. What a sentence. I'm such a wordsmith. This is
When does it come out?
um I wish you didn't ask that. Wonderful
Beautiful.
day in okay. Great. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's coming out November 22nd. So it's a Thanksgiving. Yeah, I remember that in the trailer now. It's a Thanksgiving release kind of thing. So probably families will go see it.
I
It'll
believe
do
that's the
well.
day JFK was assassinated. So.
Ooh, Mazel Tov. We're gonna move on to the the trailer for Jojo Rabbit. This is Taika. Also, I call it the Taika Waititi is Hitler movie
Yep.
because that's what I want. Adam just saw the trailer because that came out like this morning. We're recording this. Might have come out yesterday. I didn't pay too much attention. I just want to say I'm on board. Those that don't know, it seems to be a child, maybe growing up in a Hitler youth summer camp. From what I've seen, it's got lots of actors in it: Scarlett Johansson, Sam Rockwell, and he's got an imaginary what this kid thinks Hitler is like his best friend to talk to when he's down. It's really weird looking, and
Yeah.
I'm so on board. You?
Yeah, I'm on board.
It's just it was just like a minute long, maybe even not a minute of a trailer. My thing is, I wonder like are people are gonna there's gonna be some people that are gonna be like this is wrong.
I think
Like there will always be people that do that.
I think the fact that it's Taika Waititi will definitely lighten that.
Oh, for sure. I think people get that he's like the weird guy, and
Yeah.
it's definitely not like, oh look, Nazis are good. It's clearly not.
And he's from New Zealand, which is like the most neutral place.
Yeah, because it's like when I don't know, like there's certain peoples that like can use like stereotypes and things and like because I don't know, there's like a video game I love, Punch Out, that's just like every stereotype you fight one
Mm.
after another boxing wise, including Japanese stereotypes because it's made by Nintendo in Japan, and it's just like they're nice, they don't care, like it's just like, and it's the same kind of thing. He's so neutral and nice of a guy.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, yeah, be Hitler. Like Charlie Chaplin did it a long time ago,
Yeah.
and people maybe weren't okay with
It
it,
was
but
before they figured out how bad Hitler was,
yeah,
though, and so
it's
it's
really
weird looking
interesting.
back.
It's a weird kind of thing to look back on, but I don't know. I love Taika Waititi,
Yeah.
so I'm excited, and that's why I'm excited for things later on in this. But last kind of just new trailer I want to talk about. HBO Watchmen trailer gave me a better feel for what this show is going to be. Is this like a streaming show or a TV?
Well, it'll probably be on the HBO service,
Okay,
so I'm
more
assuming it'll be
fuel for
both.
that. Okay, great. I thought this made it look a lot cooler to me than the initial like trailer. You just saw
I
it
just
minutes
saw it.
ago. I showed it to you. Like your initial thoughts.
I like it. I don't have a way to watch it, so I probably won't watch it.
That's
But
my prop. Well, there's my friend. There are ways, but it's
you gotta
okay.
be determined.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll watch it because it is an HBO and I don't have HBO. But just like purely, I think it's a cool idea of like showing kind of this future that takes place after what people know. I know some people don't want it to exist, but I think just purely conceptually, it's cool. They like those glimpses of like news footage of like Dr. Manhattan on Mars, like you
Yeah.
see his little glowing blue self and like him just constructing and deconstructing things. We've got old Ozymandias played by Jeremy Irons.
Oh, that's who that
Yeah,
is.
he's supposed to be playing old
That's
Ozymandias.
cool.
And like that one guy, there's a guy in a chair like telling the cop like there's a vast conspiracy like you wouldn't believe. And I'm like, are we getting into the fact that like is the world finding out Ozymandias faked things? Rorschach did his word get out? Like
Oh
his
yeah.
journal in the movie, I remember there was a journal he left.
Yeah.
I don't remember if that was in the comic or not because I haven't read the comic. But
I have, and I don't remember.
it's a cool thread because it seems like he's inspired this cult of
Yeah.
Rorschachs that could be awful people. Like 'cause it seems like they're killing cops. Was the
It's
impression
not
I
ideal.
gave? Yeah. So, but I think that's a cool way to go with that character's legacy.
Yeah.
Because like it's an interesting topic to have, like what it means, like these heroes' legacies as they go on. We saw the Night Owl ship, and maybe Night Owl for a
Yeah.
second in the trailer. I didn't think there was going to be any relation to. Is it Archimedes? That's what the ship is called,
I
or
don't know.
something. I think he named it like Archimedes. It's an owl. Anyway, it was like Merlin's owl or something.
I
And
have no idea.
sorry, I'm going too far into it, but yeah, I like. It seems like they're bringing back like key characters and they're showing like who they've inspired. There's some guy with just like a weird latex chrome mask that reflects everything that looks kind of cool. It's like the same kind of simplicity that Rorschach
Was
had, but
was that the guy at the beginning just watching
yeah,
TV?
watching a TV show of like the hooded with like the guy in like the black colored Ku Klux like kind of
Yeah.
thing who is just watching that on TV essentially. And I like the idea of like the cops because they are being hunted like now they're wearing masks.
That is
But then
cool.
it's like the whole thing of like nowadays it's all about the accountability of cops. Like you got to be able to say your name. They wear cameras like most of the time in most cities now. It's like you're supposed to be known you're a cop, and now it's like they're undercover, so it's like now can't they get away with more? It's like interesting ideas
Yeah.
they're playing with, and I look forward to see what they're doing when I read about it on Wikipedia or someone else makes a podcast talking about the show. But it won't be here, folks. It won't be here because we don't have HBO. All right, this is the meat of it. Time code I've put in, I'm sure. Welcome to the Marvel section that everyone cares about for Comic Con because they showed off Phase 4. They did the timeline. Adam, you said you wanted. You wanted a timeline
I
up on
did
the
want a
screen.
timeline.
Interesting to me just off the gate. Like, do you just have initial impressions first? I want to ask you
I mean,
overall.
obviously disappointment because no Fantastic Four,
Not on the timeline, no.
but they
But
did say the word
yeah,
Fantastic
I'll
Four.
get to that at the end. We're gonna run through this in like order of the films
Yeah.
and shows that are like in the order they're coming out. I think it's interesting to say this only is the next 2 years, and they're calling it Phase 4, and it's
Mhm.
like usually phases are like 4 years.
Yeah,
And so it's interesting they've got a lot packed in because they have Disney Plus now, because like half of these are Disney Plus shows. And because at first you look at the timeline and you're like, oh, half of these are shows, so there's less movies. There's still like 2 movies a year, like normal.
hmm
It's just that we've condensed Phase 4 somehow into a 2 year period, which is
because like
crazy.
each show is like 4 movies.
I know it's a very different looking Marvel, but it's like
Yeah,
I'm excited. So we'll go through Black Widow, May 1st, 2020, first one on the timeline. It's supposed to be after Civil War, following her, like when she's kind of, I guess like before she joined with Cap would be the idea because like she's an illegal like agent at
that's
this
right.
point, and so maybe there'll be some flashbacks to Budapest because I heard they kind of tease that in some footage. I don't mind looking at it a little bit, but I just didn't want the whole movie to be about
Yeah,
Budapest,
that'd have
which
been
is
lame.
what her like her and Hawkeye always talk about. But I wouldn't mind if we do see like what maybe something terrible that happened that makes her like always so guilty. The whole blood in the ledger thing she said in the
Yeah,
Avengers. If we can see like some like awful decision she made or something, that'd be cool. Informs the character a
yeah.
lot. But I just as long as it's not the whole movie. Um, David Harbour.
That's what I'm most excited about,
I don't
probably.
know if you watched like the when they had the cast out on stage.
I watched that part. Yeah,
Okay, because David Harbour is so jazzed to be in this.
yeah.
His like, they're just like, "Are you excited to expand your fan base in the Marvel universe?" And him just being, "Who writes these questions? That is the dumbest question. Am I excited to expand my fan base in the Marvel universe? Hell yeah!" Just the way he is so excited. I'm down for whatever he's playing. He says his character has a bit of a grudge against Captain America because he had a Captain America shirt and he's
Yeah,
like, I love him, but my character, interesting relationship, not a big
yeah.
fan. We'll see. So I'm curious to see what he's playing. No one knows, but it'll be cool to see.
So you think he has that beard in the movie?
I'm gonna
Because
say
they're
yes.
filming.
I'm gonna say yes. He has the beard in the movie, but there's no way to know these days because
Yeah,
they filmed. But they're filming right now
I think they're. Yeah, they had to fly in. I
because
think.
they've been filming for like a month or
Yeah,
so. So he's probably got the beard, unless it's a mocap thing or something. But I'm feeling
that'd be
like
dumb.
unless it's Ben Grimm, the thing. But
Yeah,
that was that weird rumor that I'm pretty sure is not true at all. Just because he
not
said I'm
anymore.
excited to bring this thing to the Marvel universe,
Yeah.
and everyone said the thing. He said it. He said the word. But anyway, I'm more interested in this than I was just seeing like the cast and some concept footage. I don't know if you heard about the villain Taskmaster.
I heard the name. I don't know anything about
Okay,
him.
so he's a guy. Normally, his face is kind of a skull. But they've obviously always remodel it. He's got a cool shield. They released some concept artwork that I'm pretty down for. He's got a cool supervillain costume, and yeah, he's a guy that he's essentially like the martial arts expert. He's known for training other supervillains. Like he often was
Mm,
like ran a school, which is cool. Like because she's an agent, she's probably gonna be working with other people. It's cool to have like a guy that basically trains other bad guys. Also, his whole thing is he has like a photographic like analysis of like people's fighting styles, so he can like if he watches you fight, he knows all your moves.
that's cool.
So you've got to like be unpredictable. There was a cool like the show that's kind of mixed like Ultimate Spider-Man did him like once that because they had like it was him, Iron Fist, like Luke Cage and like some other characters like in high school, and like the Taskmaster had infiltrated their school trying to find out who Spider-Man was. Like someone hired him, and he would like they were each fighting him, taking turns, and he just like memorized their fighting style and like throw it right back at them. And
Oh.
it's a cool thing because also he was analyzing like he was their gym coach. Again, this is a very silly. It was a cartoon, but like the idea is he was having people run obstacles, like analyzing who could be Spider-Man based on the movements.
That's
But Peter
cool.
Parker just like failed it on purpose, So he's like because at first he's like perfect, like build, perfect height, like everything matches perfect. Like if you just fix the slouch, but then like he was just a mess on the course. It was like, okay, it might be the Iron Fist kid, essentially, like this young Danny Rand, because he's really good at all the
Yeah.
jumping and everything. I just think it's a cool idea. It's the costume looks nice on the concept art. We'll see if they do it.
Yeah.
Moving on, fall 2020, Disney Plus, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They had Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie on stage. Anthony Mackie had the shield in his hand. He like passed on like, hey, see how it feels, to Winter Soldier. So he held it too. And so I think that's a little just hinting that like, yeah, like they gave Falcon like the shield, but they're both working together to keep the legacy of Captain America
Yeah,
alive. That's what I'm excited for. I want to see these two trying to live up to it.
yeah, I'm pretty jazzed for this one.
Yeah. Did you hear any more about it from Comic-Con
I
or?
heard about Baron Zemo.
Baron Zemo appeared on screen to interrupt them, and he had the costume on apparently.
Oh, he did.
Like he apparently like he had like the fur kind of like around it, and then he pulled like a mask down. Like I
Ooh.
think it's kind of like a reinvented of because originally it's kind of a blanket. I don't mind if they do the blanket, but I think they're doing more of a tactical kind of mask, but it
Yeah.
has the design. Like people were apparently really excited because that's a character I wanted to see come back because he was a real like proto version
Yeah.
of Zemo, and now it's like, ooh, he's gonna like because some people they had concept art before of like the tactical version of the suit they didn't use for Civil War, and some people are like, oh, why didn't they use it? I always thought like his character wasn't like a super villain yet. Like it wouldn't have made sense to me that like this guy really felt like building his own costume.
Yeah.
But now it seems like he's like going against the memory of Captain America. They've got to defend it. That's cool.
Yeah, that's exciting.
I'm down for that. Besides that, it's just like, yeah, I love those two. I'm excited to see that show next fall.
Yeah.
So much time to wait. Eternals, or The Eternal. I think it just said Eternals. That's what I wrote down. November 6th, 2020. That's the November movie. Do you see anything for this?
The cast.
Yeah.
That's about it.
The main thing was like a very large cast, a very diverse, and not just like racially, but like also just like different types of actors, like age wise.
Yeah.
You got everyone from Kumail Nanjiani, some I forget his name, but Madden was his last name. He was in Game of Thrones
Richard
apparently.
Madden.
Yeah, it's like Angelina Jolie and lots of others. I don't want to just list them all, but it's a lot of people from very different walks of filmmaking.
Yeah. Some surprises for sure.
Yeah. Kumail Nanjiani, I don't know if you saw him when he was on stage. He's been working out with Dave Bautista.
Really?
He looks good. Like he is real fit. His pecs were like coming through his like polo shirt. It was nice. And I don't know, he was just funny on stage. He's like, I'm so impressed, you're all here. I've been to Comic-Con before. I've never been able to get into Hall H once. I don't know how you guys did it, but I clearly took a different route because here I am. But I'm just, it's cool. Like they seem like they're gonna be doing a real, like otherworldly. Like I think they're sent to Earth to protect, but they're all aliens. But they look, it's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of like showing me like a huge team that all kind of it's like there's different dynamics to all of them. Maybe they get along, maybe they don't. My first thought was this is what like was pitched to me, the idea of what Inhumans could have been before that didn't happen and then happened on like TV. Remember they made an Inhumans show? I watched like clips of it and it looked awful, like god awful.
Is that a Marvel property?
Yeah, Inhumans. It was because originally a long time ago that was supposed to come out this summer in movie form,
Mm.
and then that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because like it's like they're kind of half aliens. They're on the moon. There's power struggle dynamics, and it seems like a better version of that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, because I mean, yeah. Anyway,
And I'm excited to see more space stuff.
yeah, I'm a little. They're like. Kevin Feige's like, this is full Jack Kirby, and that gets a lot of people excited. For me, sometimes full Jack Kirby is a little much, like when it gets really cosmic. But I think you said this before. I think we talked about it last podcast that if they keep it, if they find a way to ground it in good characters, like I'm there.
Yeah.
Because Guardians of the Galaxy was very cosmic. They like hinted and showed like a lot of stuff, and I liked it. So
Yeah.
I'll look forward to seeing what they do with that one.
They've never fully disappointed me.
Yeah. So, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, February 21st, 2021. That's an early. They're going for that February slot in 2021. Interesting.
It's the Black Panther slot.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Are they doing like yeah, they're doing 3 movies that year. Yeah, see there's no shortage of movies, people. If you were worried, they got 3 movies in 2021. So Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. What did you hear about this, Adam?
Very little, actually. I
Really?
don't know anything about it.
So, okay then, I'm excited because some stuff is kind of cool. Um, for one, they brought like a young, like kind of, he lives in Canada, like a Chinese dude who like they just cast as Shang-Chi.
Mm.
He came out, he's like, I got a little bone to pick with Kevin Feige because I feel like I'm part of a social experiment. Because I did my screen test like Tuesday, like I just got cast, and then they're like, go to ComicCon. So I am just, this is amazing. And the director too seemed like just a really cool guy. He's like, yeah, this is terrifying to be up on stage with so many people counting on you, but I'm really excited to do it. Like, like awesome, like that's cool. The thing that's like some people like I like seeing a martial arts kind of like I want to see that like it's a world of superheroes. So you've got to be like the best martial artist the world has ever
Mm-hmm.
seen to stand a chance, and I'd like to see them pull that off. Also, because most people probably don't know this character, but so then for the nerd community to bring them in, it's Legend of the Ten Rings, which it's got the logo of the Ten Rings group that originally kidnapped Iron Man. Was they fake were doing the Mandarin was part of the Ten Rings in Iron Man
Oh,
3. The Ten Rings, there were people like Ant Man fought who had the Ten Rings tattoo when they were like selling like Darren Cross was like selling to Hydra to some like terrorist who and the Ten Rings were one of the ones he was
okay.
selling to an Ant Man. And so they said, and Kevin Feige said, Ten Rings usually represents the Mandarin. The Mandarin's going to be in this movie. And they showed, like, they cast, like, a pretty, like, some seasoned Chinese actor, like, I don't know, but, like, they're going, like, doing a full
That's
Mandarin.
cool.
And so that's what's going to get people into this movie. Like, they're doing it. Also, it's funny because, like, we've been seeding this since Iron Man 1. It's like, well, we know you haven't, but you've adapted it since Iron
Yeah.
Man 1. Because,
Iron Man 1 was like, wouldn't it be cool if we had Mandarin at some point?
yeah, and clearly the Iron Man 3 director is like, I didn't realize people cared about the Mandarin and would be mad when I faked him out.
Yeah.
Like, so clearly this wasn't the original goal. But then they did that kind of retcon short film with Ben Kingsley. I don't know if you heard about where it was like someone interviewing him in jail, like his Mandarin, his fake Mandarin actor, and it was essentially someone from the Ten Rings like threatening him, mad that they like took the persona for their own like fake
Oh,
terroristic like
gotcha.
kind of things. And so like they've been going on the assumption from that short film that there is a Mandarin out there, but we still assume they'd never do it. But they're like, no, we're going like we're doing the Mandarin, and
Okay.
they've cast him, and that's what will get people to see this movie. Also, they said Aquafina's going to be in it. Just kind of
Yep.
put that out there.
She's got a movie out right now.
She's in a lot of things these days. It seems like I didn't know who she was 3 years ago. I'll be completely
I didn't
honest.
know who she was till Crazy Rich Asians.
I knew of her before that, I think, but all of a sudden she's in a lot of things. Sure, yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
It's I don't know the movie. I'll just say like because it always Shang Chi. They said it's coming. As soon as they said Shang Chi and the Ten Rings, and Kevin Feige is immediately like, just so you see that we're doing Mandarin. I'm like, okay, now I'm much more interested than I was before, and that's the feel of the room I got when I watched that clip. So yeah, I'm excited for that now. I guess.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Moving to spring 2020. What do you know about WandaVision?
I know it's got Wanda and it's got Vision.
Okay, so this was the one I was most confused about what it was supposed to be. They've really gotten. They talked about how weird it was, and they mean like really weird and surreal, because well, for those that don't know, Vision's dead, so I don't. And Wanda the Scarlet Witch has like a lot of. She has like things in the comics where I feel like she's gone crazy and altered reality and
Wait, I have a
stuff.
question. Did
Yes.
she come back to fight in Endgame? Was
Yeah.
she there? Okay, I don't
Oh
remember
yeah,
that.
she's the one that made Thanos cry
Oh
uncle.
yeah,
Like she had a big
I
moment.
remember that.
Which people are always like, man, Captain Marvel's too powerful. I'm like, have people forgotten, like, from the inception, like, Scarlet Witch is insanely
Yeah,
powerful. It's just that she couldn't, like, control it. But when she was mad at Thanos,
yeah, I remember
she was
that.
giving it to him. Anyway, so I think it might actually be, like, going inside her mind almost for, like, some crazy mind stuff. I want them to, like, explore. Apparently, at some point in an interview, I haven't, like, super confirmed this. She was told, Olsen was told she was shown a photo of like their characters like in the 50s, like in like a 50s setting. And I wonder if like they're going like really trippy, like mind, like inside her head, like almost like a coma, like she's going crazy kind of thing.
That'd be cool.
Um, because I've watched a couple episodes more recently of the show Legion.
I have as well.
I've only watched 3 episodes so
Well, I've
far.
watched 4, so
I've been out of town.
better catch
Calm down, Adam.
up.
But because they've been like going inside his memory and stuff, and like getting
Yeah.
really weird, and I'm like, I want Marvel to try doing something along those lines of like get weird and surreal, psychological with it,
Yeah.
because That's what I'm just hoping for now, because yeah, they just said it's gonna be weird and trippy, and also then they brought out can I say this right? Teyona Paris from Beale Street. Um, I believe she's the main person from Beale Street. You know that
The
movie?
woman.
Yeah, the woman. She's gonna be in it, playing. I don't. They brought her out on stage, and I keep checking this, but it's what it said. The grown-up version of Monica Rambeau, who's the little girl from Captain Marvel, who in the comics becomes Captain Marvel for a while, but also goes by different names like Photon, Pulsar, Spectrum. She's gonna be in it. Why? I don't know. How? I don't know. Is there time travel? Is it like a mind version? I don't understand.
I mean, she'd be grown up by now, right?
I guess she would, but I like, why is she in? Because I don't know if like just there's different parts that take place like in the mind, some not. I don't know what her powers would have to do with what it seems like this show is, but hey, we got a grown up like another Captain Marvelish person out there. I don't know how she's gonna play in, but cool.
I
Just
trust
throw
him.
it in there. Like just throw it in there.
Yeah.
This has become actually one of my more like expected shows because I just want to see how weird they get with it. And also, I don't know if you heard that it will directly lead into the next film on our slate.
I did hear that.
So, because also just that's in general, like, Netflix, like, yeah, sure, makes shows that you say are in our universe. This, like, these shows are, like, this is a Marvel movie in show form.
Yeah.
Like, this is part of the phase. And so, the next film for May 7th, 2021, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Can I just pause for a sec and say I love this old radio show title for this film, like
Yeah.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Like it's the in the because everyone keeps saying and the, but it's in the Multiverse of
Yeah.
Madness. It's ridiculous, and I love that title. I've always wanted a Doctor Strange sequel to get, and especially to get weird.
Yeah.
What have you heard about this so far?
I heard it was gonna be like a horror movie.
The Scott Derrickson, I believe the
Yeah.
director's name, he said he wanted this to be scary.
That's what I want.
And he said because he wants to do Nightmare in some way in this, which is the one I've talked about. I think I talked about it even last week, of like the character that the Nightmare realm. But it seems like they're gonna go like through the multiverse. There's a lot of scary things in the multiverse you can do. You can have segments that are frightening, segments that are weird and silly. Like you can do whatever. It will feature Scarlet Witch in this show.
Oh.
I mean, from the show, like they're gonna have her be. Like, they brought her on stage like with Benedict, so it's like she's gonna have a decent like role in it.
Cool.
I wonder if like what maybe the show is Doctor Strange is helping her do some kind of weird mind therapy like magically.
2021.
2021 still. This is May. This
So
is the summer
far.
movie. It's only 2 years. We used to look at these and be like, oh man, 5 years away we'll get that Spider-Man movie or
Yeah.
something. But so that's just weird to me that they're in a great way. I hope it is scary. I hope it's freaky. They say Benedict Cumberbatch said he wanted this to be because his character was real in control in Infinity War, and they wanted now that he's being thrown back into the multiverse, they really wanted him to be out of his element and kind of. I think he said like we just kind of want to destroy him, and I'm like, yeah,
That's
do
what I
that.
want to.
Like I want them to mess with his head, and it's cool. Scarlet Witch is magical too, so I want to see just get more into magic, like
Yeah.
go deep. Like it was a cool introduction in the first one. But now I want you to just dive into the multiverse.
I want to be confused leaving.
I want to be very confused the entire process. All right, spring 2021. So I guess this is kind of during or before that. It showed after it in the timeline, but that's kind of the same time because May is in the spring technically. Loki, the show.
Yeah.
I like Tom Hiddleston. This is the one that like is least like whoa to me because it's the most known like I know Loki very well. I've seen a lot of him. This is going to be the Loki who grabbed the Tesseract in Endgame, the alternate timeline Loki. That's good. I don't want the one that died well. Leave that be. Like let's follow this other Loki's like timeline journey or whatever. Because also then you can do fun stuff that like doesn't have to have ramifications in the universe. So like you can do a lot of fun with that. I don't know if I really don't have a lot more to say about the Loki show.
Yeah, and it's cool because like he developed a lot between Avengers and Infinity War, so now you kind of like are kind of back to bad Loki a little bit.
Because he's not like exactly evil, but he's very self-serving.
Yeah.
So it's like, because he was like kind of being threatened by Thanos and all that to do the
Yeah.
taking over of Earth, but still, like he was not a good guy.
Yeah.
He killed a lot of people
Yeah.
in Avengers. Some people, I've heard them kind of try to say that it was like because he had the Mind Stone, the staff, and it was kind of influencing him too. Like we kind of saw it influenced him one time during the movie, but also like he was always very willing to kill people. So like it's a very in between Loki he's gonna be doing things, creating mischief. Got a mischief.
Do you think Thor will be in it?
I wouldn't mind seeing a Thor. It depends on what the storyline is because like you could work that in, but if they want to go like there's ways it could be hard to shoehorn him in kind of a thing, but
Because it'd
I
be
don't know.
20. It'd have to be like 2012 Thor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know what they want to do with that. It's hard to say
I
because
trust him. I trust him.
yeah, there's a whole weird timeline out there. Who knows what's going on with Thor in that timeline?
Yeah.
There's that one timeline that like that might be screwed up for good. That might be ruined. That timeline, not like in a this we broke the stones and the reality is gonna fall apart, but just like that's weird. Like something's off.
Yeah.
Like we don't know what Captain America did. Maybe he goes back and he's like, Loki, give me that Tesseract back. I need to make sure things are normal in that timeline. Who knows what that will do? Moving on, they talked about summer 2021, the What If animated series.
Yeah.
We talked about this a while ago. I don't have anything new to say. It's like kind of like Twilight Zone will be narrated by a guy like voicing the Watcher, who's like the guy who like observes everything. Interesting character. We saw Watchers in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with the big heads.
With Stan Lee.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Stan Lee. They just kind of observe and sometimes inform the universe. I still think it's a cool idea. It was the most known thing to me, probably, like because I had like we had done like a whole episode where we talked about like what if story would you like to see?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's happening like we thought. Moving on, fall 2021, we got another show. Gosh, there's so many things. Hawkeye, a show for Hawkeye. I like Jeremy Renner, so that's nice. Do you know anything about this one? Like what the idea is of the show?
Is he Ronin in this one?
So it's after Endgame, and he's teaching someone, Kate Bishop, I believe, is the person who becomes Hawkeye after him,
Okay.
teaching her to become the next Hawkeye to someone who survives in this world of superheroes with a bow and arrow. And I like the idea of him being a mentor.
Yeah, that's cool.
Also, they say they will cover more of like his Ronin time and what
Okay.
that did to him. Because I think like because we can like see snippets, but also I want to see the psychological because he was an assassin for years, and like he might feel like I can't be Hawkeye again, so he wants to train someone. As Jeremy Renner said, he's like, I'm training the next Hawkeye, the better Hawkeye. Like he wants, which I want to be. He's trying to make someone better than him. Someone who didn't fall like he did or
Yeah.
whatever. I'm curious to see what they do with that. I'm sure it'll be entertaining because I find Jeremy Renner very entertaining.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty quick on that one. Don't have a lot to say. Last but not least, November 21st, Thor: Love and Thunder. Let me just say title again. Amazing title. Amazing logo.
I like the logo.
The logo is beautiful. I love. We talked about this. It was kind of already confirmed. Taika Waititi coming back. I'm assuming you heard about the big thing about this one.
Yeah, I was most surprised by this.
This was a surprise. A surprise I don't know exactly how to feel about yet. Because Taika was reading what I've heard is a great comic run called Mighty Thor, which is the female Thor. She's called Mighty Thor, and he wants to adapt that in some way. So Natalie Portman out on stage, hands her the hammer. I don't know if that was just symbolic because the hammer's destroyed. Things can be reforged. Who knows where the hammer is? Yeah, okay, sure. Like, what do you think about that? Just that they're doing that storyline.
I'm just most surprised that Natalie Portman decided to come back.
I thought she was done. Like,
Yeah.
she hated it.
I trust if the comic book run is good, then I'm sure they can make an adaptation that's good.
I've heard the story is very good. Like, she's dying of cancer, and while Thor's away, she like takes up the mantle. She's given the opportunity essentially, even though it will like kind of guarantee and accelerate her death to like be a hero as long as she can, and that's kind of what makes her worthy is she's willing to self-sacrifice. I think like kind of yeah, it's interesting. Again, the universe is so different where they're at right now. So
Yeah.
but I feel like the cancer part is a big part of it, so I feel like they might work that in. just because that's also like that's a cool sounding story of like someone doing that kind of.
And it'd be a much better, like, if she died in this one, it'd be a much better send off to Natalie
True.
Portman.
Because her character just like stagnated real fast in
Yeah.
that universe. Like I thought she was fine in the first one, but she got kind of annoying in the Dark World. They really made it like because she had the goo in her, so it was just like her being kind
Yeah.
of dying the whole time. But now she'll be dying for better story reasons
Yeah.
if they go that way. Yeah, I hope it's good. I mean, I'm sure some people like a lot of people didn't like Natalie Portman as
I mean, I
Jane.
didn't love her.
Yeah, but again, I trust Taika Waititi. I know I'm a broken record with this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
but when there is a director you trust, it's like, yeah, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt until I see more. Because you can take characters I didn't like and make them good. That's happened a lot in the Marvel
Yeah.
universe. There's been a lot of characters I didn't care for that have become favorites.
Like,
So
even Thor was not very
I
interesting.
wasn't big on Thor in like Age of Ultron, like that era,
Yeah.
because like they just kind of made him go to like the magical swimming pool where he just kind of had visions of stones and stuff,
Yeah.
and it was just like, like what's the character doing? Like what is he? And oh, Tessa Thompson, of course, coming back as Valkyrie
That's
again.
exciting.
Korg will definitely be back.
Yeah.
There's no way he won't. Um, Valkyrie is like king of Asgard, as she said. Like Valkyrie is king, probably looking for her queen. So they're probably gonna, because she was supposed to be bi in the last one, but the scene didn't make the cut, and so they're probably gonna do that more. Like that's fine. It seems to fit the character
Yeah.
pretty well. And maybe they're implying like her and Natalie Portman. Maybe I don't know. That'd be weird for
That'd
Thor.
make Thor feel.
Thor would be like, huh, okay, yeah, I guess you both. But also, I feel like that would almost fit with the kind of Thor we're dealing with right now, where he's trying to just be his own person and be happy with who he is, kind
Yeah.
of a thing. So we'll see what's happening with all that. But that's the one that's been like a really big story lately. That some good and bad. Like some people don't like it just because. But whatever.
I'm not gonna pretend I know anything.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see if they do. That's a good way to live life. I'm not gonna pretend I know things. Like it's whatever. And then at the end, Kevin Feige, he's like, "Hey, we didn't even get a chance to talk about that we're making Guardians of the Galaxy 3 with James Gunn. Black Panther 2 is happening. Captain Marvel 2. Didn't even get a chance to talk about the Fantastic Four, or didn't even get the topic of mutants on the table." And it's like, so he's just teasing us. He did at the end though say, "So we'll see you all at D23, which is the Disney convention."
Ooh, when's that?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up. But the whole like Disney convention is like it's just Disney Marvel is essentially it's their second ComicCon they get to
Yeah.
do, and so maybe they'll show off more for those kind of things there because they only have so long on a panel and they did cover a lot of stuff. D23 dates. When is D23? Show me the numbers. August 23rd. That's not far. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Okay, well, great. Anyway, and then I'm sure you saw this headline, Adam. He's like, last thing, I'd just like to welcome out on stage, two-time Oscar-winning actor Mahershala Ali. What? He walks out. What
Like doing a Cottonmouth movie?
What hat you got? What hat you got there, man? And he puts on a Blade hat.
Yeah.
They're doing, and let me just say, I think that's a perfect pick.
It really is.
Mahershala Ali, because put the sunglasses on him, being like badass with swords, stars, maybe throwing like holy water at vampires. I'm down. Like I'm not like I've seen parts of the other Blade
I have not
movies.
seen the Blade movies.
We should just watch them
Yeah.
sometime. Like when Blade's gonna come out, we'll just marathon all three. Because like
There's
they're not.
3?
Yeah, there's 3. Maybe
Oh.
not all 3. But I've heard the third one's not good, and the first one's okay. But second one's the one people like the most. Guillermo del Toro did the second
Okay.
one. But because he got like really, he got through a lot of practical
Yeah.
grossness, and he likes that. But yeah, Mahershala Ali is gonna be Blade. This is apparently like a Phase 5 more of, which again is
Yeah.
just like really 2 years plus away. We don't know. That's so crazy to me that that's happening. He's such a good pick. He seemed like he's so cool, Mahershala Ali.
He's a cool
Like
person.
what I don't know if you watched the video of him
I
like
did.
coming on stage like because he like what hat because they all had Black Widow hats is the thing.
Oh yeah.
And so they're like, hey, but you've got a different hat there, Mahershala. You want to show it? He's like, he's holding it towards him, kind of like opening it slowly, like just kind of puts his hands together. Is kind of like got his lips pursed a little, like yeah, I'm happy about this too. And then like the logo comes up on screen, and everyone loses their minds. It was really fun to watch people get excited. The thing that I just read about this was apparently Mahershala came to them saying, "I want to do Blade."
Really?
Yes. So, and this is a quote from like someone interviewed Kevin Feige about it. This is Kevin Feige's quote. "We have for years wanted to find a new way into Blade. We love that character, we love that world, and now with Doctor Strange, supernatural elements coming into the MCU, it felt like we could definitely start exploring that. Mahershala wanted to come in and meet with us, and when Mahershala wants to meet, you take the meeting." And I think he had just come off his second Academy Award. We were talking very polite. He started talking about what a big fan he is, and then he just cut right to it and was like, "Blade," and we were like, "Yes." So that's crazy to me that he was like, "I want to be Blade."
Dude,
Like,
can we come to Marvel and be like, we want to direct this movie?
Can we just? Is that how? Maybe you have to win 2 Oscars first, and then you can just say, "I want to be in this."
Yeah.
That's how I want to be with like any script I write. I just want to be like, "Hey, I want to make this," and I want them to be yes. We need to become famous first, but that makes me even more excited that like he's the one who's like, "I want to be Blade," like because now I'm so on board. Do you think it's gonna be PG-13 or R? Because the old ones were R. But
That's a
also,
good question.
you can when you know what you're doing with PG-13, you can still like do things that are like what you want.
Yeah.
You can slash straight through things if you know how to film it, or even like it's weird about how like rating boards are for like if it's like a monster versus a person. Like you're like, oh, it's a vampire. We can cut their heads off. It's PG-13. Like
Yeah.
there's ways you can get around it.
I don't think it would hinder it much if it was PG-13.
I think they could do it well, but also I think they're at a point where they trust themselves. If they think they can do it well in PG-13, they'll do it well in PG-13. If they think this has to be R, I think they might do it R. Like it's because Disney talked about with like Deadpool, if they make more, it'll be R, but they'll just like brand it very carefully so people know, so they don't think like, oh, Disney Marvel movie, I can
Yeah.
bring my kids. And so I think if they have that mentality, they can do that. But we'll see what they do.
We will see.
And that is all the exciting madness from the ComicCon 2019.
Oh, the other thing about the
Oh, yeah.
Mahershala
You
is
got
just
more?
like it seems like they're really distancing themselves from
Oh
the Netflix
yeah,
stuff now.
Netflix does not mean a thing to them.
Yeah.
Like that's another timeline or something. That's another reality.
Yeah, or
Like
Blade is caught.
it's a reality where because you remember the only thing they really ever mention is the well they've mentioned the raft, which is a super prison, but really the thing that was always mentioned in the first seasons of every show was the attack on New York.
Yeah.
So you can just have that be like, yeah, Avengers happened the first one, and this one where Loki disappeared, and then like timeline's different now. Like it's just don't worry about connections. Cottonmouth, Blade, don't worry about it.
They're twins.
Yeah, they're twins. Yeah, I mean, I'm also excited just because like yeah, Cottonmouth was like the best part of Luke Cage, so I don't care. Bring Mahershala back.
Yeah.
I'll take it. All right, that's all of it. I think that's all of the thoughts I could possibly fit into this podcast. I was pretty like curious going into this one what Marvel would have to offer, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
And again, it's still a lot of movies. When I thought the movies would kind of slow down, they've got a lot, and we've got a jam-packed like Phase 4. And they also said Phase 5. Like they said they were like, do we show Phase 4 and 5 at Comic-Con? Because they said they've already planned out Phase 5.
I mean, that's what D23 is for. So.
Yep. So hey, now we can get Phase 5, and maybe we'll get like some just more about some of these projects. But I imagine we'll have to tease a few new things. They'll have to bring someone new out, you know.
Bring
and
John Krasinski.
John Krasinski is Mr. Fantastic or something else. Who knows?
I was watching
Oh yeah.
a movie with Matthew Fox. Do you know who that is?
Probably, but I'll Google it while you talk about it.
He was in Lost, and that's the big thing he was in.
Okay.
But I think he would make a really solid Mr. Fantastic.
Ooh, I know this guy. Yeah, he's the Lost guy. He's
Yeah.
like the Lost guy I think of. Oh yeah, he'd be a great Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right then. Marvel, call us. Like
either-
we've got ideas.
Either John Krasinski or
we have two
Matthew
solid
Fox.
picks for you to choose from. And I just like there's precedent for the fan pick being the one they pick because that's
Yeah.
what Patrick Stewart was back in the day when like
Oh yeah.
because and Kevin Feige I believe was like a consultant on those movies back before the MCU like because they were like yo Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, they're perfect for each they're perfect for each other as those two characters, they're perfect as the characters, do it. And then they did casting and they're like yeah they're perfect, what do you know, it could happen, we'll see. Anyway, that is all in this wonderful podcast. Thank you so much for listening. And yeah, now I'm just excited for D23. I
Yeah,
didn't
I
realize
didn't
it was that
know.
close. That's only a month away. But yes, everyone, have a wonderful week and thank you for listening.
Bye bye.
Bye.